All right, so my name is Jiahao Sun, I'm CEO and founder of Flock. We're a private AI solution company, and you probably see, well, lots of places us playing critical roles in terms of building the AI infra, right? Bridging the Web2 and Web3, and that's exactly the topic I'm going to be talking about, and how Flock as a company that we're bridging, the needs from both Web2 and Web3, and why this technology is the thing that can actually work on this. So back to the very beginning of why we built this company, it's mainly because I worked in traditional industry for like 10 years, working on data sensitive industries, like having those data silo issues where, for example, in banking, right? Not even between different entities, like even within one company, between different desks, your data cannot be shared. So that made a lot of issue in terms of how can we build a larger model without actually consuming enough data to train it, right? So that becomes a big issue, and that's why we started to build this platform and this technology called Flock. In the full term, it's federated learning blockchain. So that's the solution where actually in traditional Web2, there's federated learning. But there are still some issues where if you read some of the news about decentralized, about those federated learning solution providers, or some of who claim that they're using federated learning, right? For example, one of the famous input software company, they're claiming using federated learning to train your local typing prediction, but actually they're just sending your raw data back because that's basically easier to train the models, and nobody will know it because it's centralized control. That's why we think, okay, so this is a cool solution. Federated learning is a cool solution. Decentralized training is a cool solution, but there's no way that people can govern it. There's no way people can see it, what's actually behind it. If Google is doing this, then Google is just doing it themselves. They can actually just transmit the raw data because that's easier for them. So that's why when people say don't be evil, it doesn't really mean they won't be evil, because if you don't discover it, then they are not evil, but actually they can be, right? So that's why we want a blockchain to join the whole training facilitation and to make sure that, okay, every training of the whole AI, decentralized AI happening with the blockchain technology, that we don't have to trust any third party, don't have to trust any centralized party, that we're actually seeing them on chain clearly. So that's a general idea about our paper in the beginning. And then we started from 2021. We drafted our first, academic paper. It's not just some random white paper putting on preprint, right? We don't do that. We drafted proper academic paper, won the best paper awards on the top AI conferences. Thanks to our background, all in the traditional research and academia, which built the whole platform. That's called Flock. So the whole thing, if we look at the deck, it's basically talking about why we shouldn't run a world that's only be controlled by two centralized power, right? So in this whole story, the important thing is how Flock as a player into the AI training infra platform that can decentralize the whole data to make sure everyone can own and compute and control the models. We had this whole proposal for blockchain for AI, especially using the proof of stake based AI training. That's not only just for incentives, which is a traditional Web3 play, right? But beyond that, it's importantly as it's a system security mechanism, because if you're going to build an open source project, open source framework, there will always be people trying to scam, trying to be malicious to the system. So you need a mechanism so that the whole system can be secure. So all this mechanism, all from our different papers published, talking about Flock, how to maintain the high performance in decentralized training. This is quite a cool paper if you're interested. Like in even with very high malicious ratio, Flock using blockchain technology, our accuracy rate can still be high, while in centralized ways, right? If you have a data set which comes with 40% of malicious trainers or malicious attackers, that model definitely fail. So that's the beauty of having a decentralized model. And especially for other papers that we published for deAI and also ZKFL, right? We are very open to all the tech stacks that can be added into Flock tech stack. For example, ZK can be one of the solutions. So ZKFL is one of the initiatives we actually promoted and got granted by Instrument Foundation in early 2023. So far, we're still the only AI infra being granted by Israel Foundation doing this deAI initiative. Yeah, and for the team, so lots of our teams here today, yeah, we all come from various backgrounds in Web2 and Web3, especially heavily in Web2, like from legal side, from government public sectors, and also from corporate, and from my old boss, from Marika, and also from Parliament. Yeah, this is our setup of our core team, and it's because we are the team that can probably the few teams in the whole world, in the whole industry that can reach the needs from both Web2 and Web3, because with the technology itself, that's a pretty neat for it. Yeah, so collaborating with a lot of companies and publishing lots of papers backed by DCG, Lightspeed Faction, which are all the top. Well, that's also a good example, right? Lightspeed is like the top Web2 for Web2 venture arm that can invest a lot into the AI space, and DCG is basically the biggest Web3 investor in terms of the BTC reserves, let's say. So yeah, and our clients including United Nations, UNDP, Alibaba Cloud, QN, and hospitals in London and more. So we can come to some of the examples that we covered recently. That's maybe easier for everyone to understand. For example, the initiative with UNDP, that we are now the official partner and probably the only AI partner, strategic partner for UNDP, that we are pushing 20-ish initiatives globally to build this AI infra with our partners, with UN local offices in different countries. So lots of them are quite heavy. For example, some financial infra, for example, some liquidity provision for the on-chain DEX for some of the stable coins, right? And also some of them are quite fun, like gorillas. They want some of the countries that want to control their gorillas and try to make sure the wildlife is safe. We have this whole facial recognition and DID system for those gorillas, and we are bringing those gorillas on chain. So I guess that's the first batch of gorillas that's on chain. So stay tuned. So yeah, there's lots of things that's happening with this, and well, I would say it's only with Flock, right? Only Flock that can build within the deeply within the Web2 tech stack, and then still bring them on chain to make it the whole full cycle with Web2 and Web3 together. Similarly, Aegon Science, this is also probably one of the top or one of the first in the world. This is a Korean research firm doing drug discovery. They're trying to using AI to do the drug discovery. But of course, in this world, right, if you're not Google, you won't have enough data to train your drug discovery AI, because lots of those data, they are fragmented. They are like everywhere in different hospitals, different countries. You can't just unite them together. This is the exact case why Flock can help here, right? We are actually collaborating with Aegon Labs together, which is funded by two professors from Korea University. And then we united with hospitals from London, from Hong Kong together to build this model, so that it's a safe model with Flock that can train all the algorithms, and then to funnel the model, to make the model strong enough that can do drug discovery that actually can save lots of lives. So this is a very cool example, and probably that's the first in the world, because before, you wouldn't expect that different countries can work in such sensitive data all together into one research company. Yeah, and there's a fun one that working with University College London. It's called Baby 4D. And for those who probably are having babies soon, right? Some of you just wanna have some spoiler pictures to see how my kids will look like. Yes, so exactly. So this is like a retail app. So we don't only just work with enterprise companies, right? We do more than that. We also, publish with those enterprise to build their retail apps. For example, this is one of them. So you can take your ultrasound from your scan, and then we'll render a face for you to see, how your baby will look like in 10 months' time. And of course, your ultrasound is highly, highly sensitive. You don't want to send it over to an API. Send it over to send it over to a server somewhere in SF, and then there's a guy sitting behind to see all your data. Ooh, that's your ultrasound, right? No. So we want to make sure everything is securely stored only in your own device. And there's another one. This one's super cool as well. And that's an initiative together with the Animoca Brands, one of our investors, to build this VC deck screener. So, and it's live, you can use it today. And it's also live for them to screen all the decks if you want to get invested by Animoca Brands. Yeah, so it's basically all the information, of course, for their investment committee notes, right? It's highly sensitive. No two different firms will share this information between each other. Even if you ask your investor, can you share with me? They will say, no, it's confidential, right? So all this information being trained and collaborated together to train this engine, what we call paid envy. And then, yeah, nowadays you can just submit your deck over. They will assess your deck based on all the history, information, and decision by different VC firms, and then give you the rating, see how much you can get, and then maybe you'll be invited to a conference call with them if they think you're your project's interesting. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, and there's a disclaimer because our lawyer's there. So everyone just make sure you read it through and tick the box to understand. Yeah, that's pretty much a lot about Flop. Yes, and today, because we are, thank you Bunny AI to invite us to co-host together. So all our friends are here, all our teams are here, ranging from our BD team to our partnerships team, growth team, and also our lawyer. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And thank you so much.